Okay, so who's introducing us?
Kevin can.
Okay.
Alright.
I think this is Jake.
Hi, just say, hey guys, we're all here.
Yep. Okay.
He knows.
Perfect. Good morning.
Oh, we're never gonna get finished.
Alright.
Are you ready? Jake, Kevin, me.
Hello. We're Asian Persuasion.
Half.
Asian Pride.
Are you full Asian?
No.
Yes.
Then you're half.
Yeah.
We're like a half Asian
No,
sandwich.
dog, it's two Asians. Okay. Alright, Kevin.
Oh, I get you.
Hello everyone, it's J29 Creative here. I have Alex, our amazing videographer, and Jacob, our social media manager. And
Not amazing though.
You told him this episode. Hello everyone, this is Kevin Kwok, founder of J29 Creative, and this is episode 3 of our series, and I have our amazing videographer Alex here, and also our sexy social media manager Jacob. So we're on episode 3 here, and we want to talk about keeping your digital marketing strategy fresh, especially with the new school year. So the first topic I want to discuss is your website. So a lot of people have websites, but a lot of times they don't keep it updated. So things get old, like really old. So every once in a while you see websites that are not mobile friendly. So what does that mean? So when you scroll on your website, if things don't fit on your mobile phone device, it's probably not mobile friendly. So those are things you want to look at, and also keeping that content fresh. A lot of people's website, their content is very stale. So we want to keep that fresh. So we want new content, keep up with your blogs. We don't want something from 2013 was the last time you wrote content on your website. Even videography, and pictures, for example. Keep your stock photos, up to date as well on your website. Otherwise, it's almost good to revamp, So it's important to keep your website fresh so it's never stale, because websites are what brick and mortar used to be. It's your business's first impression. So what do you think, guys?
Yeah. So, our main man, Alex, on video, we're talking about keeping things fresh. Video is a big part of that. But I think what people don't understand about video is the complexity of video. Break it down.
Break it down?
Break it down.
Okay.
Break it.
I was thinking of a different kind of breakdown, but yeah. Alright, break it down. So video can be really complicated. Basically, videos become really accessible. So a lot of people can shoot video, but it doesn't mean they can plan it accordingly, I believe. So yeah, you can shoot video with your phone, and if that works for you, then it works for you, but I don't think it would be as, it wouldn't reach the potential that you want, and I don't believe it would help your business as much as you'd want it to, depending on your situation, obviously. Mm-hmm. But a video, again, depending on the kind of video, even a 30-second video spot for an ad can take months of preparation, especially if you have a strategy behind it, which you definitely want. That's definitely the backbone of everything. So it can take a while, and I think you should definitely plan it you should plan it now if you can. So if I break it down, basically, I don't know if I need to go through everything, because there's like a ton of stuff, and there's a reason why like movies and stuff have hundreds of people working on this stuff. But there's the strategy behind it, obviously, and all the marketing. There's a script, there's the actual end goal, your call to action of what you want the video to actually do. Let's see, there's call sheets, there's casting, there's crew calls, there's camera rentals. Like there's a bunch of stuff that you're gonna need to look into, and even if it's a really simple one, I don't know, there's just so much planning that like it almost boggles my mind right now. You really have to stay organized with it. As I said earlier, a lot of camera equipment and a lot of knowledge is accessible, and I believe that anybody with enough time and dedication can definitely do it, especially if you want to do it yourself. But I would say that it is difficult. Just because it's accessible does not mean it's easy, and that if you're trying to run a business while also trying to have a video campaign and do all this kind of stuff, it's going to be pretty hard. So I would personally advise consulting with professionals to really at least get an understanding, or talking to people of really understanding what you need to do. But I think that rebranding and pushing out video content and planning it now for the new year and throughout the new back to school season, all this is really important.
I think what a lot of people forget, we see this a lot as an agency, is we see business owners or realtors and different, in the fitness industry, different things like that. People just have a cool concept or something they saw on a website, for example, and go, oh, I want to start doing that. Hey, can you, here's an idea. Can you shoot me a video just like this? Instead of really being original and understand your customer persona, what's the end goal, and then really having a strategy behind, why am I doing this video? Because to be honest, video's not cheap.
No.
So, what's your ROI in the video? So, to be honest with you, it would be stupid to go spend a couple $1,000 on a video if you have no idea why, just because I saw someone else do it. It's really cool to just do a video.
And the thing is, you look at that video that's really cool and it caught your eye and it got viral or something, but that's also because it had a strategy behind it.
Well, and sometimes everybody wants to go viral, and everyone wants to go viral. So that try to stay away from that. Just be yourself, be your thing.
And
be consistent.
People forget, even the organic stuff you see online, a lot of them was planned out. So there's a strategy behind it. And I think people have to keep that in mind when you're producing things. It's just, what's your end goal? Who's your target audience? What's your call to action? Why are you doing it? And if it is just to share, that's great. Do it on your own phone. Make sure it's steady with great lighting. But hey, if it's for your business, I recommend keep it professional, have a plan. So
I agree. And you talked a little bit about phones or using a camera. I think you have to understand what it means to shoot with a phone. That phone gives you a little more transparency, it gives you a little more honesty in your production value, but then to create a real video with real production behind it, real good cameras, real good lighting, a whole crew behind you, that evokes more quality. So it really depends on kind of what you're talking about, but you can do definitely both things.
I think it's good to have a mix.
Absolutely.
Like, definitely diversify, I guess.
Absolutely. Don't produce everything, because everything's produced, you all look like it's a bunch of fluff. And if everything is all camera, you look like you're really cheap. So a good mixture of stuff where you're telling a story and you're really showing your transparency, showing what you guys are about, I think is quality in video. And actually that ties right into social media.
Yeah, so while we're talking about content, talk about social media strategy.
So social media strategy, you guys touch on a lot of things, and it really kind of folds over with everything marketing. It really is a grind now, and it's staying top of mind. It's staying present with the direction you're going in and staying consistent. So social media, we talked about with website and video, updating stock, whether that's updating little video clips you want to utilize, updating pictures. If you've got a photographer that or you're a photographer yourself, update that stock. Winter's coming around. You don't want your social media posts of your restaurant, of people in shorts and stuff like that. Keep it live. It's something that you can do. It's something active. It shows that you truly care about your message, your brand, and your customers. You're updating this and you're keeping consistent. I think another big thing, as we look at 2018 as a whole, and guys, this season right now, as we get into the holiday season, as we call it here in the States, you have Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, Hanukkah, all that stuff. I think this is a really great time to start tying into what I would call social events, like October, Cancer Month. So how can we give back? How can we be a part of that nationwide, international call to action, international event like a Cancer Month? November, Movember. I'm getting ahead of the game. It takes me about 6 months to grow a mustache. I'm on month number 3, so if I want to participate in Movember at all, I do that. And these things, they're not life changers. You're not going to solve, the world's problems with this, but it gives your brand, it gives you guys some humanity. Hey, look, we're living, breathing people. We're not just here, living in our own, business world where we're dentists or we're tax people and that's all we talk about. We're living, breathing people, and we're affected by all these things as well. So show that humanity in your social media, and you can really do a good job of that with tying to these events.
And I think we're coming up into some winter months.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of holidays. It's a good time for a lot of businesses to have downtime. So it's good to maybe get your team together and just brainstorm, put together a social media calendar for 2018. Start putting together like an advertising plan too. So hey, what am I gonna advertise for Thanksgiving, because I got to lead up to Christmas? If you're retail, hey, you start preparing for it. Start running ads now. Talk about the holidays. Talk about gift cards.
I think the coolest thing you can do, looking ahead, you have time to tweak. It gives you a chance to get all your ideas out. Have a brainstorming session early on, or late, in the year prior. Have that brainstorming session. Get those ideas out there so that they're there and you guys can tweak and you can adjust them, and you can always change. The strategy is never set in stone, but it's always good to have a strategy, a plan in mind. Have a theme for that year. Start planning events. Start looking at how you can give back to your community with charity. Obviously, this winter season is a great time, but look ahead. Look ahead to the next year. Be ready. Get that strategy in place. It makes things a lot easier when it comes time to actually pushing stuff.
And I think too, it's a good time to incorporate, like, hey, if my pet peeve is if you can't do something well, just don't do it. So let's say you've been doing Facebook, but you've been looking into maybe doing some Snapchat marketing. This is a good time to start thinking about how am I going to incorporate that new social channel maybe in the new year, instead of just randomly adding, hey, I'm going to start Twitter and Instagram and all this stuff, and try to juggle all at the same time and not do anything well. Maybe look at, hey, maybe for 2018 I'm just gonna add Snapchat. So
baby steps is always good. Like Kevin said,
Or practice.
We talk about doing stuff, but if you can't do it well, you got to think about what you're putting out there, how that's going to evoke your brand, how it's going to evoke your message, and if it's something you don't have a good grasp of, or you're trying to use humor and you're using it in the wrong way, that can really negatively affect your brand and what you're about. So those are some things, guys. I think that's really it. That's just some general stuff.
I think even looking at your whole idea of how much time do you have, what do you want to do in-house. It's always great to save. Being business owner myself, it's good to save and try to do everything yourself. But the end goal is, though, are you really saving by doing it in-house? Because you could be taking away someone who's more talented, for example, at doing sales, and they could, get you more revenue by doing that. Instead, they're out there trying to figure out how to shoot with a Sony camera or whatever.
Exactly.
I remember we talked about that one time, because I think it was a thing where they were saying outsourcing was good, because I remember I was always told you should learn how to do stuff so you can fix your car, and so my dad one time fixed a car for a week straight, and it's we saved $3,000 or whatever. But then somebody was well, if you think about it, if you spent that $3,000 and spent that week to be able to accumulate $10,000, then technically you just lost $7,000.
It's an age-old business conundrum as a business.
That's something to think about, and it's not we're trying to sell you or whatever. The whole idea is, hey, you know what's best for your business. But at the same time, I feel, the topic of keeping it fresh, but at the same time doing it wisely and use some smarts. What's your time worth?
Absolutely.
And look at the value of that.
All right, guys, good chat for episode 3.
That was podcast style.
It was podcast style.
I'm
That's cool. Well, we'll be back again, the 3 Stooges.
We're getting ready for September.
Yep, we're
September.
looking
Start
at
of September.
What's the Chinese word for stooge?
I have no idea.
Young
Stooge!
That was racist.
Stooge?
No. I don't know. Let's get a different ending. Okay.
No, we're done.
We're done. I think we got enough.
Yeah. Well, let's say a bye-bye, though. We do have to say a bye-bye.
Bye.
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 All right, Alex, do your magic. We want to talk about keeping your digital brand fresh.
I know. Didn't say it.